Hello, hello, hello. We're all back here again, and we are going to make some more animals with Fishy. You are here making cute animals with Fishy. That should be stuck in your head all day. Alright, so let's get started, and we'll just put. Oh, you know what we should do before we do anything else? Let's size things. We don't have more problems later. And it should be pretty easy. We're obviously going to use some trickery to make some low poly squirrel, probably, or chipmunk, something like that, something cute anyways. I find cute animals are the best add-ons to projects and games. You've got to agree, I'm sure. So go to Edit Mode tab, Control B, and we'll add some segments. You add as many as you want. I'm going to do 6 because that's what I like to do. Just not too low poly, but not incredible resourceful taking. So then I'll undo it and Control B, and we'll just make mostly a perfect circle. Probably right on a perfect circle. We'll start this one actually. Something like that. It's got a little bit of a square shape to it as well, obviously. So how will we start this? Actually, let's move that back down in case we need to do anything. We'll Shift D, and let's start off making some eyes maybe this time. So I'm gonna have to decide how big we want these little squirrely eyes to be. The bigger it's gonna be, the cuter, obviously, but it's also gonna look the funnier if you go too big. Probably do something like that. Obviously, we'll move it around a little bit, but maybe we will go ahead and color this first because it may be problems trying to color it later. So we will just hit A. Just go to the color wheel real quick. We'll color it and we'll go back just to have it colored. Make it a lot easier. So instead of white, I'm just going to do a little bit of yellow. Just the tiniest bit. Just to make it not pure white. Okay, not a big deal. We'll change the base of the other color after. Oh, jeez. Should I do that? Maybe we will do this one brown and I'll do the next one white. Because it's changing them all at the same time, right? Something like that. Maybe a little darker. There we go. I'll hit Edit or Tab and we'll assign it. Perfect. And hit Tab again. I'm going to do a second color plus. Hit L over top of the eyeball. And no, we won't do that actually. Let's grab it where we want to give him his eyeball. We'll go right down the middle. Nice and easy. And I'm holding, I left click and then I hold Control and push left click and it'll just follow the circle around for me. Okay. And then we're going to try to grab everything on the southern side of that. So I'm just going to box grab a bunch of them without grabbing the one behind it. Okay. And you can use Control to grab around. And there we go. 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 Just make sure you got the whole backside. So must be hard to grab. Jeez. Let's just move it forward a little bit. I'm having trouble seeing it. Make sure I just get the right ones. Sorry about the wait, guys. And then I'm going to shift unclick any ones that I wasn't supposed to grab there. And shift to grab these last ones. Alright, sorry about the wait. And we'll go to our second material, push new. This is the one we're just going to do just a hair yellow. It's not pure white. Looking good. And then we'll do a third one. And we'll make it black. And we'll just do the middle dot. Oops. Why didn't that work? There we go. Okay. So now we have more of an eyeball. It should look pretty good. I'm gonna have to put it on a bit of an angle, so let's figure out what that angle is. We will... Actually, let's adjust his face a little bit. Squirrel has more of a pointy head, I think. It's kind of more like that, if I'm not mistaken. Now, if we can find our piece inside, there we go. Not exactly sure how to do the squirrel's head, but we'll kind of figure it out. Let's just take our time, move some pieces around, see what we get. Maybe it's something like this. That looks like a spaceship, not a squirrel, you're probably thinking. Now grab this one, shrink it a little bit. I know they kind of have a pointy face like a rat a bit. So maybe we'll try stretching it out, hiding it inside of his face a bit more. Let's shrink it down and then stretch it out again. Kind of like that, I think. And if you know their face is a little better and you think this is wrong, you go ahead and change it in your way. Might make a new piece. I had a little bit of trouble shaping this right. I think it has to be on a bit of a triangle, basically. And I could be mistaken, but... so we would grab this face. I have it. And then S to shrink it just a little bit like that. And move it out. And Control B. Oh wait, A. Then Control B. Make sure we got the whole thing. Something like that. I think that's about right. I think we'll just have to stretch it out the right way. Sorry, I don't recognize every animal's shape of their face right away. Sometimes I just gotta kind of play with it until we get the right shape. The right look to our guy, right? I think it's kind of like that. Kind of like a rat, but cuter, right? Like a cute rat, basically. I've got the worst descriptions. Alright. This is what I'm going to do. Hopefully it's going to end up looking like a squirrel. It kind of looks like a duck at this point, but we'll get there. We'll get there. Nope. -5, maybe. Seems pretty right. Okay. Might go the other way with 5. Okay. So then we'll Shift D this. And we will... Maybe top or the bottom, I don't know which one. We'll try this one. That was not right. So let's just undo that. Alright, that's the right one, and then we just gotta change this to 5. No, that's still -5. And this one's -5. Okay. Now we've kind of got the look we want. We're getting there anyways. Still kind of looks like a bit of bird, so let's try to shape this a little better. I don't know what it needs to be. Probably, maybe we can just duck it into his face more like this. I don't know if that's better or worse. Let's do that. I don't know. Something like this. Let's tuck it in and see what we get. Give him a nose. See if we can make him look more squirrely. Shift D. S. S. Until you find the right squirrel shaped nose. Something like this. Maybe want to flatten it out. I don't know. It kind of looks like a bear now. But we'll get there. We'll get there. It's going to be cute, whatever we make. Maybe it'll be a bear. I'm just kidding. We'll make a squirrel. Probably this one. -10. I think I went the wrong way. Did I? No, I think that's about right. Let's try -15. Yeah, there we go. So that seems like the right angle. It's already looking pretty cute. So probably a mouth next. I don't know what a little squirrely mouth looks like. I should have Googled it first, but I think we're getting there. I think it's starting to look right. But you tell me in the comments if you disagree or if you think there's a better way to be doing this. Something like this. I'll obviously shrink it down quite a bit. Something like that. Maybe a little more. Okay. Something like this. Okay. Maybe you want to change it a little bit. That's up to you. But then we will Shift D the same shape. We'll pull it out just a hair. And we'll hit S. Shrink it down. When you're happy, maybe make it a bit thicker. Just to make sure you take out enough area and you get a smooth cut at the front and there's no weird leaning angles backwards. Okay. Difference. And maybe we'll color this while we're here, just to save us some problems later. So it's going to have highlighted what we just took out, basically, the shape we just took out. So it's just a really good time to color it because it'll make it really easy. So just go New, Plus, and we will do just a lighter brown, maybe a little bit more yellow. Okay. And just give him some color. It's starting to look more squirrely here. So maybe we'll move this a little bit. That's going to roll it that way. So let's try 15 here. Okay, 25 here. Something like that. Maybe even more. No. Yeah, let's do 35 here. Okay. Maybe zip it up a little like that. Look a little more squirrely. I think their ears are like this. Correct me if I'm wrong. Shift D. And then we will use the second one, I think it was. Put a minus. Nope, that's definitely wrong. This one. Yeah, there we go. And then we'll just do -35. Alright, handsome little squirrel we're getting here. Yeah, I think he looks alright. Might have to move those down a little more. Like this. That look better? I don't know. Still kind of looks like a bear to me, but it's going to happen. Sometimes you're going to try to shape one thing and you end up with something completely different. Alright, so let's make a mouth shape for this guy. And maybe that'll help him look more squirrely, hopefully. Shift B. Oh my. I'm going to use a nice square piece to make his mouth shape because it's going to just be a lot smoother on the inside, and when we go to color his mouth, it'll be a little easier to do. And again, you're not going to see too much in his mouth, so it's not that big of a deal. I'm just going to grab that back face. Something like that. Shrink it down until it's around the size you're looking for. Now, it depends what you're trying to do here. If you want to give him some teeth, you're probably going to want a little more room in his mouth to work with. I am not, so I'll just shrink it until it fits basically nice and comfortably in his mouth. If I have to make some adjustments, I probably will. Just going to do that a little bit. Just a little less of a taper. Okay. Take that shape out of his mouth when you're ready. And there we go. This really looks like a bear. It's going to be our chipmunk. We're going to still make it work into our chipmunk. We're just that good. Alright. So, chipmunk. Probably something like that. Stretch it out a bit. Don't know what their spine's like. Probably pretty straight, I imagine, but we'll do ours on a 25, like that. Something like that. Let's bring it in a little bit. Bring it up a little bit. Okay. I don't know, this might end up being a bear by the end. It's just taking the shape of a bear. I don't know. We'll still try to make a squirrel, see what we can do. Shift D. Okay. It's hard with low pixel animals. Like, even with high pixel animals, you really got to capture their shape and their character in your design. Otherwise, it's just not going to look right. So, we'll try anyways. We'll still see if we can get it. We're pretty clever. Maybe we can still get there. Okay. Have a pretty long neck, I think, but it's something like this. I don't know. It looks like a bear to me. I'm gonna name this video the Squirrel Bear. I don't know. Alright, let's make some legs. You think most times people just stop at this point and be like, you know what, we'll start over. Let's make a new video. Nah. It's okay to make mistakes. We'll make it look like what we want it to look like. We'll just have to figure it out. We might have to change some things. We'll get there. Good way to do it though is starting with the color. As you can see, it really helps with the look, with what you're trying to look for. You can kind of see it a bit more. Probably go ahead and attach those. Then we can go to edit mode and click this. And go down to paint, hit new, make that nose black. There we go. Just to help us give us the look that we're looking for. Again, it looks more like a bear. Something like this, I think, on the front one, and then we will shift D it, take out that, move this down a little bit, and then put -15 there, and that should be our basic leg shape. You might want to move it up and down or shrink this bottom one a little bit because their legs tend to get smaller near the bottom. Okay, and then I don't know exactly what a squirrel's paw looks like. Assume it's just a little cute paw, so a little cutie paw probably. I'm just gonna take the 0 out of that. Something like this, and then we'll do S. I'll move it down a little bit and up a little bit. Again, this pretty much looks like a bear, right? See if we can fix it after. Let's get his legs finished. Tell me in the comments, do you think this looks like a bear? I can't get the idea that this isn't a bear out of my head. I think that's gonna work, but let's join these first to the bottom one because the bottom's still in its original axis of 0 leans. So it'll just make it easier to move it around and transfer it because then the axis won't be on an angle. So we'll just do the top one at minus. I always say 0 when I want to say a minus. And then we'll grab them both and shift D them both. Just drag them back until you're happy. Something like that. We might have to do the opposite on the back legs. So we go into... yeah. So yeah, I'm not exactly sure what would be best here. What I'm going to do, just to make it faster for you guys don't have to watch me struggle how to figure this out. Do that and go L over the other foot and go selection. Then I'm going to go L, L, P, selection, L, then L, L, P, selection, okay? And then when I go out, I can delete this, I can delete that, okay? Just take that again, we'll Shift D it, and we'll just make a new one. Something like this. Okay. And we'll just have to make it line up down here. Something like this. And then we'll do... Why am I not seeing? There we go. We'll do -15 here. And then Shift D it. And take out the minus, move it down. And do normal 15 here. Okay, something like this. Obviously it's the wrong size, so we'll shape it up just a little bit here. Shrink it where we need to. Move it down a little bit. Something like this. That looks pretty good to me. If it looks pretty good to you and it makes sense to you, make sure your foot's in the right position. Control J to join them, and then just delete this one. And we will take this one, Shift D, and we'll minus up here. Okay. Okay, so we got our little guy. Okay, I think this has turned into a bear. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make this into a squirrel. I don't know what I'm missing to make it look like a squirrel, but it doesn't. So I guess we'll go with a bear for this one. Feel bad. I tried to make it look like a squirrel, but I just can't imagine one in my head right now. I thought I was imagining it, but that does not look like a squirrel, so I'll make this one a bear. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it anyways. Control B. And hopefully you've learned something either way, and that's alright. Do something like that. Do it a little bit longer, a little berry tail apparently. And then we will do -45. Okay. And maybe sink it in a little more like that. And just give it a little more character for it sticking out a little bit. Kind of looks like a poop. Kind of looks like a poop coming out his back, but we'll go with it. Looks pretty good. We'll join it. Go ahead and join all your legs. And join your head and stuff to your body. Join your ears. Okay. Make sure you have it all together. Missed his eyeballs. That's how you make sure is just move it and right click it to cancel. And that's how I make sure I got the whole guy. Okay. So hopefully if we've had a fun time. If you've had a fun time, you've learned something and you can use this, make sure you thumbs up, make sure you favorite. Feel free to comment. Oh, one last thing we could do is his mouth. And remember there's a link to my game. If you guys would like to check it out, it's on Steam. It's called Fishton, Town to Remember. Pretty fun game. You're welcome to give it a try if you'd like. Alright, let's do his mouth. There we go. So we'll just go new. And just grab our 3 pieces. Should be real easy. But did we get a new one? I think that's it. Change it to red. And do a sign. Okay. There we go. It's just a little more realistic now. And add some more colors, do his mouth different or something like that. And I'm sorry about the way this one worked out. I'm going to do some research and maybe we'll come back and we'll do a squirrel or chipmunk after I've had a nice long look at them, because they clearly don't look like a bear. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.